Hey everybody, it's Kelly and I'm back with the layout for Scraplift Saturday. This layout is by Becky Adams for Bella Boulevard. It was on the blog November 3rd, 2017. So today I'm going to be scrapping a photo of my nephew and his wife. They moved from Wisconsin, where we live, to the DC area. And they had their picture taken in front of the White House, I think within the first week that they moved there. So I just thought it was cute because it's kind of, they were exploring their new home. So the first thing I'm going to do is grab that yellow paper, which is from Chamel Go Now Go, and it's the drive paper. Pretty much everything on this layout is from Chamel Go Now Go. I'll let you know when it's not. So I'm going to ink the paper there with my Tim Holtz Vintage Distress ink there. And what I'm basically going to do from Becky's layout, and I love her work, just so you know, I'm going to do this band of pattern paper across the middle of the layout like she did as well. And kind of my clusters are in the same-ish areas. That green paper is from, there's the journey paper. The heart paper is the date paper. And then the blue floral paper there is hike. And then that background, which is basically a map background, is the city paper. And I just like this because, you know, they're exploring their new city, basically. And I did cut the heart paper and this blue floral bigger than I needed it because I wasn't sure how much of a reveal I'd want to do. So again, inking edges just to help blend everything together. Now this is a pretty busy layout, but in the end, when you look at it, it's not crazy busy. Well, maybe it is, depending on what you think of crazy busy. But to my eye, it's fine. Sometimes you just got to do a really busy one. So now I'm playing around with how much of the hearts I want to reveal, where that photo is going to be. And I'm having a little bit of a trouble here because the green strip is actually a little bit short from side to side there, and I think it's from where I cut the border off, but I'm going to learn, I think the paper's just a little bit short, and you'll see why I learned that in just a minute. All right. So what I did is I decided I still had that strip from where I cut this one off of, and decided to just cut that the same size but not cut the border off, or cut not all of the border off, because then I'll just put this on and then I can cut it off from that right side where the manufacturer's strip is. Okay, so I'll get that down, and I'm just going to cut that. And when I do this, there is just a little bit of a remainder of the manufacturer's strip on the paper. So the green paper is actually a little bit short. All right, so now I have the bones of the layout down. I'm grabbing some of the things I'm thinking about embellishing with. I do want a card to journal with, and I like that card there that says "Go somewhere you've never been," because she had never been to this area before they moved there. He was there for interviews, and I did think about using this 3x4 card with the suitcase on it, but it felt more like a travel than a moving one. Although obviously they pack suitcases. I was thinking about using that die cut there, that building die cut, because they are in the city. And I'm just trying to take off the borders where they weren't cut evenly, and you can see remainders of other cards. I'm talking about a third, maybe a little bit more than that, of that 4x6 card underneath the photo. Now I moved that die cut to the other side. It was just too busy when I did that. It's like stack upon stack upon stack. Too much. And I keep trimming more. I was covering the green paper, but I decided there I wanted to see a little bit more of it, so I put the card up a little bit higher. And I like the way that looks, where it's only crossing the green and the the blue floral. So then from the chipboard stickers from the Go Now Go collection, I found that piece of chipboard that says I left my heart in, and I am going to write Wisconsin on it, since that's where we are all from. And then I like this little other journaling spot that it says, it's chipboard again from those chipboard stickers, it says destination. And I'll write the city that they live in now and then the date of this photo on that, but I'm not going to do it until after I've taken the photos, because I want to keep that a little private for them. That doesn't necessarily need to be out there on the internet. I mean, I'm out there about, you know, where I live and that kind of a thing, but this is somebody else, so I'm going to leave that a little bit more private. All right, anyway, and I do have to use a slick writer because these are coded. The chipboard here is coded. So now I have the journaling card, and I will journal on the journaling card as well, too. Thinking about using some of these Let's Go thickers from the Go Now Go collection, and I'm going to use the Go Now Go. And the reason I thought that that was an appropriate title is because they're young. My nephew had really just graduated with his master's from college, and this is his first job. They had gotten married in a year before this, after he finished his undergrad, but now is the time for them to go and travel when they're young and do something that's different away from home. The cool part is this photo is almost a year old now, and she is pregnant with their first baby, and by the time, or actually when this goes up, she'll be due in about 2 weeks from them. So it's very exciting. It's not exciting that they live so far away from where I live, but that's, you know, that's part of being young and being able to travel. So now I grabbed a heart there, the glitter heart there, and that is also from the Let's Go thickers. There is a die cut of that flower there, and now I also have that taxi because they're in a big city. And then I have that red flower up there as well, and those are all from the die cuts from the Go Now Go collection, which are called the cardstock and acetate shapes. I also have these mixed in with Starshine as well because they both have some navy to them, and that is where this die cut is from. It says above all watch with glittering eyes, and I can't remember the rest of it, but I liked the globe theme. At first I thought about maybe just using the bottom there, and then I decided nope, I liked the above all watch with glittering eyes because it's a new place for them, so I thought that was kind of cool. So I have some layers there. So now I'm working on my cluster here, and then what I'm doing is I'm taking the bottom of that card that's left, and I'm going to add that to that cluster there. And then just so you guys know, you won't see this because I did this after. I forgot I wanted to use the puffy hearts from the Go Now Go collection, and I added 2 in the top and 1 on the bottom, and then I found a number sticker 2 that I forgot about that I still had numbers left, and I added that to the bottom cluster as well. So sorry about that, but I did that when I shut the camera off. Sometimes that happens when you go, oh, I didn't use something when you're cleaning up, or you see something when you're cleaning up. It's part of the hazards of doing YouTube videos. If I wasn't doing them, no one would ever know. Okay, so here's what's happening now. Don't try this at home if you can help it. But I'm putting all this down and looking at it, and I think that entire piece there, all those paper strips, are too high because now with that card at the top, that cluster is much lower. So I peeled everything off and took it off, and I will tell you I didn't realize this till later, but I did actually tear the paper just a little bit on the far right side. There's so much going on that map paper though, you don't really notice it all that much, so I just left it. It is what it is. See, and I'm looking at it there thinking, can I take it off? And I can't. I've done that sometimes when I've torn it and been able to repair it, but I can't. And I think if I would have had to really change how I clustered there, and it wouldn't have made a heck of a lot of sense to me. So that's it. But anyway, so be careful about doing something like that. Mine came out pretty well, but that was a lot of movement. The ATG is forgiving, but not for long. How about that? If you move it right away, not such a big deal. And what I did there is I needed to look at the date on the back of my photo. I always put the dates on the back of the photo if you didn't know that. and suggested titles. Alright guys, so here is the still shot and a couple of detail shots. Hope you're all well, and we'll be back with another layout again soon. Bye!